my. That's the home fans, too. The Vultures are circling at Southern Cal. Like Texas, another storied program reeling right now. John Jackson is our USC insider. John, the heat is on Lane Kiffin, but it was the players who scored just one touchdown in that loss to Washington State. Just the second time that has happened, just scoring one touchdown in a game since 2001. So who shoulders most of the blame here? The game plan from the coaches or the players?
Well, of course, the stat that you just put up is really embarrassing. And I know, being a former player, my attitude on it was, it's the player's fault. It doesn't matter what the coach calls. We have to make sure that we execute. But I can tell you, in this situation, and Lane has come out publicly and said this is going to fall on the head coach. And the reason why is because if you're the players that are not executing, or the plays that aren't being called appropriately, or they're not ready against Washington State because they're not ready, they're not up for the game, that is all going to fall on the lap of the head coach. So Lane Kiffin has taken responsibility for that, and I think that he's accurate on that.
Kiffin announced on YouTube yesterday, John, as you know, that Cody Kessler is the team's starting quarterback moving forward. If this doesn't work, why not put Max Brown on the field?
Well, remember that Cody Kessler and both Max Whittick have been on campus and in this system for 3 years. I mean, they're sophomores, but both of them redshirted as well. So the thing is, with Max Brown, he's just not ready. I mean, that's the one thing. If there's a lot of things at the quarterback spot that we talk about, the intangibles of playing the position. But for Max Brown, it'd be a newness to the Coliseum, be a newness to the speed of college football. Remember, a year ago, he was preparing for high school. So to put him in this type of situation, especially as the schedule gets more difficult as the season progresses, he's just not ready for it, and that's why he's not the right guy. It has to be Kessler or Whittick.
All right, John, let's get Few in here on this now. It's rare to see a head coach fired mid-season. Few, could it happen at USC?
I don't think it can happen, but you could certainly put him on double secret probation. He's got to keep winning. I don't know if he can get fired, but certainly they can say, you know what, we're going to go a different direction. This just isn't working. They cannot keep losing. They cannot keep playing this poorly. Losing is one thing. Not getting any offense is another. And to lose to Washington State, you can't do that at USC. They've got to show some signs of life. There's got to be something there that says that things are going to progress going forward and that Lane Kiffin is the guy to make that happen.
You know, the one thing that you have to remember is that Lane Kiffin has been under these sanctions ever since he took the job. And so when you talk about a head coach and the opportunities that a head coach has to deal with, in Lane's case, he's never been able to deal with what every other school in the country has had the opportunity to deal with, is just go out there and coach a football team. That's never been the case. Remember, these scholarship reductions have been 10 players for 3 years. They're now in the third year of that 10-player reduction. And so with that being said, it's not necessarily the players that the Trojans don't have. Is that those 10 players every year have gone on to other teams, and those are the players that the Trojans are playing against. So, you know, the scholarship reductions really puts Lane in a tough position, in a situation where I think that there has to be a way to, if he can make it through this season, if he can make it through without, you know, it being a total debacle, then you have to have him back.
And don't forget the UCLA problem. If UCLA keeps winning, if they rock and roll, if they beat Nebraska this weekend and look great doing it, and if they keep on doing what they're doing right now under Jim Moore, all of a sudden they get that pressure from the alumni base. USC people do not want to see UCLA people happy in any way, shape, or form.
All right, John Jackson, thanks as always. We appreciate your insight.